Hi everyone. Sorry, came in hot, started screaming. Shouldn't do that. No. Hi. Welcome to PodGis. The shiniest, the sheeniest goddamn podcast that there ever was. Will I ever figure out the lighting in here? I don't know, probably not. Don't wanna, don't care. Will I ever figure out the video quality? Will I ever figure out the setting? Maybe. That's why, hey, check it out. I know it's been a couple weeks. I'm sorry. I apologize for the delay. I apologize for the absence. Whatever momentum I had is probably gone. Not that I really had any to begin with. It was a solid 2 weeks of me being like, grumble, grumble, grumble. Grumble, what was the point? Grumble, grumble, grumble. I was Bryant Gumble. I was Bryant Grumble, actually. And so, whatever, dude. I apologize. I know that, this is one of those things that I'm only just realizing now, really, where sometimes I get real down on myself. I get in this gutter type thinking, and I reached this point, especially with the podcast. It's so fun, and I love it, and I love doing it. But there's no growth, and it's a whole bunch of work for no money. And I think I'm just gonna, I don't know, move it to Patreon. I talk about this shit a lot, and I should probably just keep it to myself and make a choice. But if you like it, then you're here. It's like I guess it still happens very rarely, but I used to, when I was grinding open mics at the very beginning, you would go to a show that like two people were in attendance that weren't comedians, and every comedian that went up would complain to the audience about there being nobody there. And you can make some jokes about that. Absolutely. You need to be honest and address what's going on in the room. Absolutely. But my point is, a lot of comics would make the people who are present feel shitty about coming, and they would take out their frustrations on the people who actually showed up, which is so counterproductive. And for me to keep doing this to you guys who come and show up and watch, this is just silly of me, is it not? It is silly. So I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop it right here, right now, and I'm going to get my shit together, and I'm going to figure out the future of PodGis. I'm going to keep going, because when my special comes out, who knows? Maybe a whole bunch of new fans will come, and then I'll finally have a budget to maybe go to a goddamn studio with a cool picture in the background of some dinosaurs or something. You bet your ass I want like a T-Rex in a fighter jet or some shit, with the trans flag on the side, just to piss the people off who come show up to this video and type in man, 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 you're a man, you're a man, you're a man, in all caps, as if I really could give a fuck. So, yeah, the future of PodGis, maybe in a little doubt, maybe. She's working it out. Okay? Anyways, getting that out of the way now. Happy Pride! Oh, shit! Happy Pride! I don't have a flag, but here's a rainbow-colored umbrella. Pew! Happy Pride! Pew! Can't see it. If you're listening, I just sprung. What's the word for when you press the button on the umbrella and it goes punk and it shoots out? I just busted an umbrella. I just busted just slightly off screen. I'm gonna do it again, so just for the exclusive people who watch this on YouTube. Hey, happy Pride. Was the juice worth the squeeze? It was for me. It matters to me, god damn it. It was real to me, god damn it. Yeah. I'm not superstitious, I'm a little stitious. That's a line from The Office. But I'm not too superstitious to open this thing indoors. Uh-oh, am I cursed now? I've just opened this umbrella indoors. Am I cursed? For fucking 7 years bad luck? I won't get laid for 9 years or something like that? Doubt it. You guys have no idea how easy it could be for me. I'm just kidding. I'm totally kidding. Take it easy. Oh, I like this. Okay, we're just gonna get... This totally helped with the lighting. Oh my God. Holy shit, I complained about the lighting. And then this solved it. Jiminy Cricket. Jiminy Cricket, I just solved it. Okay. Maybe for the next one, I'll have some kind of a contraption. I'll MacGyver together some kind of thing. Wow. Oh, this is magnificent. For those of you listening and not watching, I opened the umbrella. If I was superstitious, this never would have happened. I would not have opened the umbrella and put it over my chair like so. And now the lighting just looks so much better. I don't have a sheen on my head anymore. That makes me look like I'm balding. I don't have a sheen because I'm not. My hairline is fine. But that sheen, I'll tell you, I can't not look at it. The screen's right there. See that spark? Mr. Sparkery. I see that Mr. Sparker on my forehead up here. So we've solved it, and we've done it in style. Pride style. Happy gay. Happy gay to everyone out there. If you're gay, or if you're L, or if you're B, or if you're T, or if you're Q, or if you're plus, which includes everything else. Sorry to abbreviate, but happy gay to all the pluses out there. Happy gay plus. And don't feel insulted because you're plus. You're more. You're extra. So don't get upset if we say LGBT plus because you're plus. Dude, that's awesome. I want to be plus, but I'm just a silly little T. I'm just a mere T. I'm the fourth letter at the front before plus. Get out of here. Plus. It's so good to be plus, and good for you if you're a plus. Happy gay to the pluses out there. Ooh. First of all, and you know, we're cooking when she says, first of all, 8 minutes in. But first of all, I'm wearing a dress that I love so much that I didn't even know I loved. And here's the thing. Check this shit out. I'll stand up. Whee! Oh, I feel like a diseased person in the Victorian era. The sunlight ails me. The sunlight triggers my pneumonia, which was lethal back then, I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure. Now I'm just talking out my asshole. But if any time is good to do it, it's Pride Month to talk out of your asshole. This month is Asshole Month. And no, I don't mean like being mean to people. Leave that to the Christians who protest fucking pride. Leave that to everybody online who's like, do you have to rub it in our faces? My wife. It's shrouded now. Is this gonna be distracting? I don't care. I love this. I'm doing this every episode of PodGis this month. Every episode of PodGis. Maybe I should move the bar. Oh, I should sit on it. Like this. Oh my God, perfect. Now I just can't move. Oh, this is a real good one for all the listeners out there. Okay. What even the qu'est-ce que heck was I saying? What are your plans for Pride? I'm doing shows, a bunch of them. Pride is always a pretty busy month for me. However, I gotta say, as busy as I am, it seems everyone's tightening their purse strings, let me tell you. Uh, it's tough out there for everyone, and I sympathize. It's tough out there for everyone unless your name is Galen Weston and you own Loblaws, and unless you're the fucking Rogers Company and Bell Shaw or whatever the fuck. If you're one of the two um, telecom companies in Canada that own a duopoly over everything, then your times are tough out there for you. And boy, oh boy, you have my sympathy. And you know what else has my sympathy? Myself, because I forgot my water in the other room. Fuck. Oh, crumb, there was something I was going to talk about. So, hey, look, here it is. Gay umbrella. There was that picture that was going around. I still see it every once in a while of like a dad, and he's sitting on his kid's bed with two of his children. Classic, of course, the imagery of the nuclear family. There's a boy and his younger sister, which is very important to the heteros, with their fucking rigid rules about even what type of kid they have. But there was the dad sitting on his bed with a son and the daughter, and he's reading them a book, and he's holding up a shield over his head. In their bed, he found a fucking shield. Who is this, Captain America? And, well, yeah, pretty much. And then there's a rainbow coming in, and he's blocking the rainbow from his kids. He's blocking the rainbow from his kids. And because he's reading them a not gay book, and he's not telling them about the gay, I'm keeping the gay out of my life. I'm gonna read the Mein Kampf. That's how I'm gonna protect. This shield is made from the bones of Jews. That got morbid. But yeah, that picture, this feels, currently what I'm doing with this umbrella feels like the opposite. It feels like I am, yeah, it's kind of the opposite, isn't it? I am shielding myself from the sloppy, wet, damp party pooperage of boring hetero-Christian values and the shiny, gleaming light of the Lord that beams upon thine forehead and makes thee look bald. Yea, and she will find an umbrella in her room, painted the entire spectrum of the rainbow, and yea, it shall protect her forehead from the glint of an angry Lord who made her trans but doesn't want her to be trans. I'm coming after. Religion is kind of taking some collateral damage here. Christianity specifically, but hey, there's a correlation between the people who are shitty about pride and the people who are gay for Jesus. Gay for, I hate the gays, unless, no, I hate them gays, but I'll get on my knees for Jesus, let me tell you, with his six-pack and his beautiful locks and his gorgeous deep blue eyes. Bless me with your grace, O Jesus. I am on my knees. Here I pray on my knees for your grace, O Jesus. Cascade your grace upon me. That's what this umbrella is. It's protecting me from the come of the Lord. That's going to turn me straight. Anyways, that was a wild tangent. Even for me. I'm just thinking about it right now. That was too much. That was too much, Ava. Sorry, it's something about being under this umbrella, I think. Terrible influence. Terrible. I'm too far gone. Protect yourselves out there. For the entire month of June, I hope you stocked up on canned goods. Don't go outside. Don't turn on your TV, because you're going to see a Scotiabank commercial where they have a rainbow flag and maybe two men holding hands or cuddling on a couch together for a 2-second shot. Be careful out there. Shit's wild, man. They're trying to turn you gay. I saw a fucking Harvey's commercial where two guys were ordering burgers together. They were standing so close, I didn't know what to do. I took a big shit on my couch. It was a mess. I screamed at my wife. I beat my son with my shield that I keep in the garage that I made out of my old Ford F-150 car door. That shit ain't right. No two men are allowed to order Harvey's burgers. Extra pickles, that's the gayest shit I've ever seen. I'm not going to do long episodes anymore. I also decided that we're going to cut it shorter. And maybe I'll do an extra half hour for a Patreon. I'm thinking about it. You know, you guys are my fans and I adore you and I appreciate you. But shit, I'm trying to make something of my life. I'm just giving away lols for free. I say yes to a lot of gigs out of the kindness of my heart. I am so easily, my goodwill is so easily, I don't want to say exploited, but accessed. It's so easily accessed when people are like, we don't have a lot of, it's our first show and we want you to headline our first show. And it would be an honor. And I'm like, oh, you're buttering me up so good. And I always rationalize it in my head that I'm like, it'll be a good opportunity I love doing stand-up and it's a good opportunity to work on some shit. If I got some shit I want to work on, I will do it for free on your show. And you can trust that it'll still be funny. Because even when I'm testing out premises, I'm good. I'm good at what I do. But maybe I'm just saying that because you're only as good as your last show. And I'm really in the middle of experiencing that right now. Because it's Sunday right now that I'm recording this. And on Friday, I had a show on Friday that I didn't do poorly. I didn't do poorly, but I wasn't the best on the show. And I really try not to be competitive anymore, but sometimes that impulse, especially when there are people also on the show who are competitive themselves, and competitive people bring that competitive people bring that competition out of me, and competitive people bring out the crappy competitive side in me because I just want to. You started it. If somebody comes up and they're like, I'm the best. And I'm like, oh, you started it. Now I got it. The gauntlet has been thrown. You could have kept that shit to yourself. And we would all been happy with you living out your delusions quietly to yourself. But now you've brought me into this shit. And it was very upsetting Friday when I did not, I just wasn't happy with how I did. And I underperformed. And I couldn't bear to look myself in the face that night. It was devastating. Even though I did great. I did fine. I just wasn't better than the person that said they were the best. And I hate that because that's not the case. They're not objectively the best. They're not. But every time I do a show with this person, I underperform and I don't live up to my potential. And so I've proven them wrong every single goddamn time. And I hate that. I hate it so much. Ooh, I hate it. See, it really chaps my ass right now. Still, it's really chapping my asshole. Chapping my asshole. But you're only as good as your last performance. And for the past 4 years, I would have thought that I had outgrown that type of thinking, But as it turns out, Friday I was in such a foul mood after that show for those silly competitive reasons that should be beneath me by now. But, some things about us are more difficult to change than others. I can transition. I can practice my feminine voice. I can do all kinds of stuff. And look at how dramatically I've changed in 3 years. And yet I still have impulses that are very difficult to combat, but I'd say I'm doing a pretty good job. I keep it to myself, my competitive nature, except when I'm playing Smash Brothers against my roommate. Oh, there's an update there, but I'll get to that in a second. But yeah, you're only as good as your last show, and the following night, Saturday night, I had 3 shows in one night, and smashed all 3. It was super, super fun, and especially the last 2. The first one I was warming up for a CBC radio taping that I'm doing next week. I'm doing a taping for radio. She's got a face for radio. I've got a face for radio. Think I should say that? Think I should say it on the radio? Oh, my material. My head swims, and now I want to talk about something else all of a sudden. But I gotta stay on track. So the first show I did the radio stuff. I did rabies stuff. And the next 2 shows I did, what did I do? I fucked around. I wrote a whole bunch of premises that I wanted to do, that I've been meaning to do for a while. I wrote down 11 premises in my notebook, and I went up on stage, and I riffed a little bit off the top, and then I said, all right, pick me a number between 1 and 11. And I blew the light. I went way over time. And I'm really sorry. I've been doing that a lot lately. I think the notoriety is getting to my head. People want me to be on their shows, and so I'm a bit gluttonous when it comes to stage time. It's a bad habit, I know. I'm developing, and that's not good. But I went a bit long, but I was last on the show, and sometimes they're like, "Yeah, we don't care. We'll let you run," especially if I'm having fun and doing good. But yeah, I had 11 premises. And I asked the audience, hit me with a number, and we did them. And only one of them didn't really work, but I recovered I was like, hey guys, you remember 6? You guys remember number 6? Oh, I really sixed it. I turned it into a verb. I was like, every time you fuck up, that's called sixing it. And I sixed that one hard because number 6 was not good. And the rest were great. Maybe it's the curse. Maybe it's a curse. If I ever do it again, I'll be extra wary of number 6. Maybe that's my unlucky number. Although, fun fact, my childhood phone, the first 3 digits were 666. I grew up in the devil's abode. I grew up in the devil's abode, which is why I have a rainbow umbrella now. It all makes sense. I was groomed. I was groomed by the devil. I was groomed by gay, oh geez, I blanked on his name. I was groomed by gay Lucifer. 666, the signs were there. My phone number growing up. I'm not going to tell you the rest, weirdos. But I had the number 666. It was a really fun phone number. You know when someone tells you a fun phone number, you're like, oh, that's got a cool rhythm to it. You know? I like mine, my current one. It's got a bit of a rhythm to it. You know what I'm talking about? Phone numbers with a little rhythm. You're like 775-7705. And you're like, oh, that's fun. I love repeating numbers in a phone number. You get 2 numbers together in a row. You get, whenever you get, also numbers that begin and end the sequence. When you're like, 689-7047. And you're like, oh, I love a bookend. I love a bookend number. This is so stupid. This is such Jerry Seinfeld observational. Is this even, I like it. Am I autistic? You guys, am I autistic? Am I neurodivergent? I could be. If I am, I promise you I will remain undiagnosed for my entire life. I'm just going to fight like Sisyphus. My entire life, I'm just going to fight this uphill battle. My focus and my memory are just going to suck. But God damn it, you bet your ass I'm going to try. I'm going to try so hard. Anyways, there were 3 things I wanted to talk about, and then I got distracted about all 3. So, speaking of fucking ADHD, neurodivergent, undiagnosed, it's probably a good sign. How appropriate was that? How topical. how immediately relatable relative to what I'm doing right now. Okay. But what was I talking about? Let me retrace to the things I wanted to talk about. Oh, radio. Writing material for radio. This is a first for me. This is my first radio taping, and like when I did my special / album, I had far more focus on the special portion of things. I am a very animated, I'm a very physical performer. I'm high energy. I'm very self-referential. And so the album will make me money on satellite radio. I'll get residuals for that. That's the moneymaker. But the video is for like growth and fan development, and like the video is what matters to me, you know? That's me. Mwah. And so I kind of treated the video and the audio separately, but I still didn't compromise performing it the way I do. You know what I mean? If there's some physical gags that just don't translate in the album, which is why I'm going to encourage people, you don't have to bother listening to the album. Watch the special. You need to watch it. You need to watch me. Okay? Make me a promise, listeners out there. I know the people who are on my YouTube right now, you're probably going to watch. I can guarantee it. Maybe I can't guarantee it, but I presume if you're watching me on YouTube, you are probably going to be more inclined to watch me on YouTube, which is where it comes out, June 30th, 800-pound gorilla. It's called So Brave. I should be saying that every 5 goddamn minutes. But writing for radio is tough. Deliberately writing for radio, because I have to sort through all my material, and I've surprised myself with how much material requires a bit of a physical accentuation on a punchline or some kind of self-referential thing. And the way I'm silly and playful and fun on stage involves a lot of characterization and physicality. And I pride myself on the cleverness of a lot of my material, but it's still really is given life by my delivery and the visual spectacle that is Alval. But anyways, that's tough. Writing for radio, God, is tough. But she's got a face for radio, let me tell ya. I want to say that. I'm going to say that. I gotta say it. It's so dumb. Okay, tracing back again to the other. Oh, I'll be so proud of myself if I touch on every thought that I had along the path. I'm like going back down the path I walked to the forks in the road, and I'm exploring those now and coming back. I'm so proud of myself. My dress has pockets. Look. It has pockets. Not to be a basic bitch. I know it's such a classic, hacky joke to be like, hey, women be like, it has pockets, but it does. It does. And I put lipstick in it today. And my phone. Since when can you do that? That was real nice. That was good. Okay, tracing back. Oh, the big announcement I had. This isn't going to be particularly big to you, but it has implications for the future, for the pretty far into the future, I suppose, for now. At least that's the way it feels until it comes and slaps me in my face. In about a year, hang on, no, let me say it this way. So I am working on my American work visa. I'm currently in the process of applying to work legally as a comedian and as a musician and a number of categories. We're going to skip model because I don't have any modeling experience. That was sort of idealistic of me to be like, hey, modeling? Can I do modeling? And they're like, no, you got a face for radio. Oh, and so, you know what just popped into my head? There was a funny thing I said a while ago that I wanted to name this. And now I forgot. Oh well, don't lose track. Guess. Oh, distraction gifts. Okay, so I'm working on my American work visa. And the place that I'm living at, I through matters that need not concern you, I've been given a bit of a timeline on moving out of my beautiful home that I love so much, and that time will be next July. So, vaguely predicting that a year from now, the backdrop will most certainly change of PodGis. Who knows? Maybe by then I will have a studio, and that would be so cool. And we're gonna have a giant, obnoxious rainbow umbrella in the back for good lighting, the best lighting. What if I hold it maybe a bit there? Is that better? No, this is good. So yeah, that's an update. So essentially, beyond this work visa situation, I've had a fire lit under my ass. And so if all goes well and I play my cards right and I do things right. Sorry, my phone is going off and now I'm distracted. I'm gonna turn that upside down. I shouldn't have texted my friend before I started PodGis. This feels so rude. And that makes me want to say something else. Finish a fucking thought. Avagis, oh my god. Maybe this is why nobody listens to this shit. Why would I disparage my own podcast like this? I'm being so mean to myself. Hey, idiots, be kind to yourself out there. Signed, Avagis. Okay, so the point is, in perhaps a year, I might be moving to America. And I might be doing tours in America. And I cannot wait. I cannot wait. I think that should be very exciting. Oh, so fuck, if you're a fan, support me in some way by, how about this? Comment underneath telling me that you would subscribe to my Patreon. If it was just like $2 a month, fuck it. $2 a month for a weekly extra half hour of PodGis. God damn, that's pretty good. That's pretty good. And maybe a $5 package for another half hour. I can't believe how uncreative I am about thinking about this. And then you can do a $10 package, and guess what? You get another 15 minutes of PodGis. I'm just gonna stack more and more time. Hey, do you love the way I can't finish a goddamn thought? Do you love how I don't take a breath in 75 minutes of machine gun thought, of machine gun fucking verbal diarrhea? Well, guess what? For the low price of $10, you can get an extra 2 hours of that every week. Anyways, how did I get here? What was I even talking about? Anyways, oh, that was good riffing that I did on Saturday night. So you're only as good as your last performance. Let's bring it all the way back. Anyways, I may be moving in a year to America, and I'll tell you on a personal note, my roommate and friend, one person, not two, his name is Steven. It's, hey, if the rainbow umbrella is telling you anything, it's that it's 2024 and get with the program. You can be friends with your roommates. It's possible to be friends with your roommate. Steven is my roommate and friend. That's why it's one person, not two, when I say roommate and friend. So make sure you get with the program. It's 2024. Don't be a bigot. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna miss, on a personal note, all I'm saying is I'm gonna miss my bestest goddamn friend in the whole goddamn world. And I love him to death. And you should all know that even though I'm unlucky in love, I am very lucky in friendship. I am the luckiest person in the world in friendship. I have a good, tight circle of beautiful, amazing people who are my friends. And who needs romance and cuddles and body contact and affection when you have such good friends. And I know that sounded a little bit sad a little bit there, and maybe a little bit of bite in that commentary, a little bit there. But trust me, uh, I'm not, I may be lonely, but I'm not alone. That was cool. That was pretty cool, huh? Biotin can of chewy gummies.
Oh, yeah. That was really funny. I mean, that was really smart. You're such a smart girl. Why don't you have a couple of me? You haven't had your gummies yet today. Do you want your hair silky and smooth?
Yes, I do. Jameson Natural Sources since 1922 gummies high potency biotin. Yes, I do.
Oh, you should have me because you should have a couple of me today. Don't skip a single day. Because you want. Guess what I do?
What do you do? Jameson Natural Sources since 1922 gummies high potency biotin.
Well, I'm glad you asked. I promote thicker hair, healthier skin, and stronger nails. And guess what? Guess what flavor? I'm delicious. I'm mango peach, I'm sweet lemon, and I'm fruit punch.
Oh, thanks. Jameson Natural Sources since 1922 gummies high potency biotin. You're my only friend. I know everything that I just said about my tight circle of friends. It was all a lie. You are all I have. I appreciate you so much because, I should have been holding it on screen. I was holding it down here. You guys you can't even see what I'm talking to. Here, I'll just hold it like this so you can see it. I should have been doing it this way. God, I'll get better at acting. These are things that you learn when you do acting. I thought of it too late. Thanks, Jameson's Natural Sources since 1922 gummies high potency biotin. You're my only friend. Speaking of acting, here's a fun thing. I took an acting class once that very much taught the value of physical. It was perfect for me because it was all about like physicality and acting. And like if you're doing a scene with someone, the focus was very much less on the script and more on the feeling, the accessing very real emotions, not just acting them, but like really feeling them. And so, if you had a scene in the acting class with somebody that you were mad at, you would do something like you would grip hands. If the purpose of the scene was like for someone to, if you're arguing, you want to win your argument. If these two characters are trying to win an argument, you would like arm wrestle, or you would like put your feet together on the ground and you push your feet against each other, and you would like kind of glance at the script and read the lines. You would improvise a little bit, and you would like basically antagonize each other physically in a safe way. And it would viscerally, it would do things to your body to like put you in this aggressive headspace. Like it affects you emotionally to like arm wrestle someone, It was very immersive. I liked it. It was very effective for me. I liked it. And so I did an audition recently for a horror movie. Horror. And a couple things from this. The purpose of the scene that I was doing, it was on Zoom. And so my character was running from a murderer. And she's in the woods and she comes across some farmhouse. And in this scene, she's basically banging on the door and screaming at the person to let her in. And the person recognizes, the person at first is like hostile, but also recognizes that she's trans and gets even more hostile. So she's desperately pleading and going through different phases of grief. I really touched on a few of the different buttons with the different lines. It was like desperation, pleading, and then like fucking fury of like, what the fuck is wrong with you kind of shit. And fear, looking over my shoulder, knowing that the murderer is way back there and he's coming. And like, I'm gonna die kind of stuff. Bargaining, anger, sadness, bargaining, all the phases of death, of grief. That's, when people say, your psych degree, was it useful in any way? It kind of was there for the first time ever in my entire life. I graduated with a major in psychology, and people have been asking me ever since. They're like, this must help for stand-up. No, it doesn't at all. But it did, finally, for acting. One time. But I also combined that with, so I used what I learned in the acting class, and I ran up and down the halls of my condo to get my heart pumping really, really fast. And luckily enough, there was nobody in the halls. So I was like, before we did the audition, I was like, I'm gonna give you guys a heads up before we do this. I'm gonna excuse myself. I'll be gone for like 60 to 90 seconds. Don't worry about it. I'm just getting my heart rate up. I'm running up and down the halls. I'm sprinting just to like, so when I enter the scene, my heart is already gassed, and I'm feeling the adrenaline. Isn't that smart and cool what I did? And so, and also in advance, I told all my neighbors, I knocked on everybody's door, and I left a note to anyone who didn't answer. And everybody who answered, I was like, tomorrow at 6 o'clock, you're going to hear me do a lot of screaming. You're going to hear banging and slamming of doors. You're going to hear some profane language. You're going to hear open the fucking door. Just so you know, don't call the cops. I'm doing an audition for a horror movie. And I gave some of them chocolates. And it was very cute. And my neighbors, I never talked to them. I keep to myself in my building, but they all took it in good stride. It was actually very nice. So I kind of bribed my neighbors to not call the cops, because I was gonna scream. I was gonna fucking scream. I was gonna give it my everything. And so, I did it. I told them, I was like, I'm gonna disappear, and when I come back, can we get the scene started like right as soon as I re-enter the frame? Because I'm doing this to get my heart rate going, and like, let's go. Let's kick it off when I come back. And they're like, good, done. And they were surprised. They're like, what? Wow. Okay. Yeah, do it. And they followed up with an email saying that unfortunately, it is very difficult to get funding for projects that involve a trans lead. They're like, we really believe in this, but no one wanted to fund it because it's really hard to do that with a trans lead. And it's not like they blamed me. They blamed society. But of course, I'm the victim in this case. But they were like, you were fantastic. We really loved what you did. They also brought back the hallway running. They're like, the sprinting in the hallway was a really nice touch, and we thought that was really cool. So, hey, your girl is doing good at auditions, but nothing's fucking coming of them. Although, if you follow me here but not on any of my socials, I am part of this, I am acting in a mini series called Douche Rehab, and they are raising funds to be able to film the rest of the series. We filmed a pilot, and the two head writers, the two producers, lovely people, Danton and Mickey, I think they've written the rest of the series, or at least half of it, and they are in the fundraising portion. So please go to the comments. I'll post it in the comments below if you're on YouTube. If you are listening, check me out on my socials. If you go to my Instagram, I'm positive in the bio. If I don't have it now, I will after this recording. I'll do it. Go to my bio and check it out. Take a look at Douche Rehab. Donate a little bit of money if you want, or if you know a good charity that the money will meaningfully go to people in Gaza, that matters a whole lot more. So do that instead, because there's a genocide happening, and I just realized it doesn't feel very good to promote a mini-series thing in a first world country. Oh, geez. I just had a real crisis of conscience. You just heard that here. Gosh darn. Sorry, guys. Sorry. I just had a real crisis of conscience. Oh, should I do a character guess? My vag is so wet. Let me tell you something, guys. Sitting makes my legs so sweaty. My legs, before I transitioned, would never get this sweaty. What the even heck?
What the hell is even that?
My legs, when I sit down, sweat so much now. And yeah, maybe part of the reason why is because I keep my legs together now so much more because I'm sitting like a lady and I'm crossing my legs over on top of each other. And of course, that's going to make them sweat because the body heat is just going to exponentially, it's going to compound because your legs are on top of each other. So of course, my legs are getting sweaty. Whereas before, you'd wear jeans and you'd man spread, just, have one leg point to the north, have another one 90 degrees pointed west. One leg point. You always one leg pointed northeast, the other one southeast, so that your dick is always pointing to the sunrise, baby. Always point your dick at the sunrise. Always be ambitious. Always look to the future. Point your dick at that sunrise. Nothing like getting up at the crack of dawn. Oh, that's a double entendre. And by dawn, I mean my girlfriend. I get up at the crack of dawn. I get up at the crack. Oh, there it is. Oh, I get up at the crack of dawn. And that's a euphemism for the person in question of this scenario gets a big boner whenever he looks at his girlfriend Dawn's butt crack. That's so dumb. I love it. I love it. I gets up at the crack of dawn. Instead of Ava, fuck. It's going to be a lot of work, but I'm going to rechange my name. I'm going back. I'm doing all the changing over legally. Oh my God, it was such a tedious set of tasks, and it's finally done. I think my name is changed over everywhere now, including like my fucking PC Optimum Points account. I'm talking everything, but I'll change it all over just to rename myself Dawn, just so my future boyfriend can enjoy saying I gets up at the crack of dawn, and he's talking about my butt crack. Isn't that fun? That'll be fun. Oh, now I gotta change my name to Dawn. Dawn Val? No, that makes me sound like a mob boss. Hey, Dawn Val. Let me get just a little taste of that butt crack. Just a little bit. I control the drug circulation in this city. I do. Ain't no one getting their hands on crack except through me. Does any of this make sense? It makes vague sense in my head, and then I say it, and I'm like, no, you didn't do that right. No. This dress is great, but I'm sweating in it. From the beaming sun. I'm gonna do this umbrella thing from now on. Better watch out. Is it obnoxious? I'm gonna have to find a way to keep it in place. I'll have to MacGyver something. Oh! If I do that, and then tie it. Oh, my chair has 2 big holes in the back. And if I put this in between them, and then wrap a string or something around the holes, then it'll hold in place. I hope. It'll probably fall. Oh, I'll think of something. What fun. What a fun adventure that'll be. MacGyver guess. MacGyver guess. I get up every morning at the crack of dawn. That's not a good enough podcast title. Because it's too long. MacGyver guess could be it. There was one thing I said in the middle that I thought was catchy. Oh well, I'm gonna do a quick character guess for your ass. This one comes from a very real place. And before I begin, let me say that this does not come from a place of malice or mockery, because this guy is an absolute legend. He is a real boy. He is a real man. His name, he goes by online Red Shirt Guy. Yes, he is identified. There is no other guy who is more closely associated with red shirts than this guy. He got the red shirt. He is the red shirt guy. Isn't that fucking incredible? God, what a legacy. I hope, God, like that guy, he's a legend. To have your legacy associated with a red shirt. No one else can be known as Red Shirt Guy. Just because he's so himself. He did something so fun that now it's like when an athlete retires and they retire his number and they're like, no one can wear number 4 anymore. No one can ever be remembered by wearing a red shirt anymore because this guy did it. Isn't that cool? God, if I can do something so goddamn memorable that people are like, hey, black shirt girl. No, not black shirt. Black LBD girl. Little black dress girl. If I get all of LBDs, if all of LBDs are associated with me forevermore, then goddamn, what a legacy. I'm going to have to work real hard to do something. It's going to have to be kind of silly, memeable. Anyways, Red Shirt Guy. Look him up. You can pause this, take a look. Just type in Red Shirt Guy, and lo and behold, his beautiful face will be there. Let's make sure. Let's do it. Red Shirt Guy. Red Shirt Guy. Yes, that's him! Ian Bates is his actual name, but he's better known, it says here at Wowpedia. Oh, because it's World of Warcraft. That's right. He's better known as Red Shirt Guy. And the original Red Shirt Guy, BlizzCon 2010, there's a YouTube video that he's famous for. It's only got 26k views? No. This is a different one. Because I'm sure the original is viral. Gotta be. I hope you guys don't mind. I'm kind of deviating here, but I want to. Oh, there's another red shirt. Oh, there is another Red Shirt Guy. Oh, this guy did a different red shirt thing. Everything that I said about Red Shirt Guy was wrong. 1.2 million views for Red Shirt Guy. 1 million views for the same video here. Oh my God, that's so funny. Okay. Streamer poops himself in classic WoW. I don't want to watch that. I don't want to watch that now. I'm going to put that in my watch later. I don't want to watch that now. I'll watch it later. Okay. Oh God, YouTube, what have you done? I'm so distractible. Okay, so Red Shirt Guy. Holy fuck, it's taken me 5 minutes to tee this up. So anyways, Red Shirt Guy is a World of Warcraft fan, and at BlizzCon, which is a conference for this gaming company called Blizzard that made World of Warcraft, they did like a Q&A with some of the biggest, from some of the, I don't know, heads of the company and head programmers or whatever, and story writers, I think. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's where this clip comes from. And Red Shirt Guy comes up and he goes, hello? And immediately the most endearing thing. So nervous and just so nervous, but endearing. Like, come on, go ahead, buddy. Ask your question in front of hundreds and hundreds of people. So naturally he's nervous. And he asks the most, like, nerdy specific to the folklore, to the lore of World of Warcraft. He asks this like crazy specific question about one guy. I thought when Slorsgard was killed in a council of 3 hammers, and he talks like that, and it's so fun and so silly to imitate. When the council of 3 hammers, but he also appeared 4 episodes later
in episode 19 with Kjarsgaard's axe. And what I wanted to know is, did Falstaff die in the Battle of Rorgamongia, or was he revived? He was also seen in the, and he's referenced a million things. And then he stumped the story writer. The story writer sat there and looked at his like writing partner. Who's like, yeah, what's up with that? And the guy was like, kudos, good on you. You found a discrepancy. We will look into that right away. And he stumped them, and he instantly became this viral hero, red shirt guy. Super cute. So anyways, to character guess. The idea behind the character guess, we did improv scenes, myself and my improv pals, and we did a scene once based on red shirt guy, where this guy had the same cadence as red shirt guy, except he was like a huge stud muffin, and women were throwing themselves at him, and he was like, and so naturally he was like a huge misogynist, was part of the character. Don't judge me. It was really funny. And he was, and there was a girl who in this scene was like throwing herself at him, and he was like, well, if you're not gonna do anal, then I'm not interested. And totally shut her down because she didn't want to do anal. So how funny would that be if it was red shirt guy who talked and was as nerdy as he is, but he's like a total lady killer, and he's like, I'm only down with girls who get dirty. If you're not interested in a threesome, my phone is blowing up with all. It's a sign. I'm doing Seinfeld. It doesn't sound like that. My phone is blowing up with all kinds of ladies who all want a piece of this raging hard cock. I don't know if that was worth it. Council of Three Hammers. We just say that all the time. Council of Three Hammers. One last thing and I'll get out of here. As part of this O1 work visa application process, I am getting a resume together with my lawyer. My lawyer is working with me on building a brilliant resume that will look fantastic to immigrations to officers in America. That will make me look like I am exceptional among my peers, which, and you know, she says my resume is one of the strongest she's ever seen, which fuck yeah, is awesome. And she's 100% certain that it'll work. So I'm feeling great. I'm leaning into the process. It's a lot of work. I won't get into it, but it's like researching people associated with other people to legitimize those people. You know what I mean? Like, on the resume, it'll say, I did the Joe Coy Gala. And Joe Coy, here are a bunch of facts about Joe Coy that legitimize him as a comedian and therefore me by extension. Joe Coy has 2.5 million followers on Instagram. Joe Coy appeared on the Tonight Show, etc., etc. So I have to do that, like layers of research of other people associated with me, but I also have to do it with like clients of my former agents. And so I'm going to my old agency's websites and clicking on all the headshots of all the people and trying to find like the people who accomplished the most. It's a lot of research. It's a lot of detective work. My God, it is exhausting. But anyways, one of the things is you need to list all your talents and all your skills. So like I would say, I got a list that I play guitar and piano and drums, and I can do accents and impressions, and you have to list those. And so I think she made me accidentally racist, you guys. I think she made me accidentally racist because she's very encouraging, and she was like, okay, so what impressions can you do? Like regional stuff, like can you do? And she started to exercise my imagination by like pitching me some. She's like, can you do British? And I was like, yeah. Or, yeah, mum, I can of course do a little Britain accent. I don't know what region this is from, love, but of course I can. Yes. Anyways, and then she was like, can you do Chinese? And despite myself, I was like, yeah. And she said, can you do Japanese? And I said, yeah.
And she said, can you do Jamaican? And I was like, yeah. So sorry guys if this is racist, but I have Chinese, Japanese, and Jamaican on my resume that I say I can do that. And now I'm nervous that they're going to make me do that. Like if hypothetically, if this entire process goes swimmingly and it culminates in an in-person interview with an officer of the law, an immigrations officer of the law of America, of Chinese descent, and I sit across from this person in the final, last stage. It's this in-person interview, which I don't think is part of the process, but fuck, whatever. We're imagining it for the premise. And I need his approval. This is the last thing before I'm allowed to legally work in America. And he sits across from me and he's like, everything looks great. It says here, you can do a Chinese accent. And he stares at me. And he goes, do it. Do it. And I go, oh, I mean, I don't know if I do it. Do the Chinese accent. Let me hear your Chinese accent. Do it. I mean, I could do British. Ask me to do British. I'll do British. You see right there, it says, I don't want you to do British. I want you to do the Chinese one. Do the Chinese one for me. And then he kind of like sits up so that the light reflects off his name tag that says like M. Chan. And I'm like, oh, do the Chinese accent. Let me hear. You want to work in the States, don't you? Do the accent. And then I finally, after feeling so uncomfortable about this decision, I'm finally like, you know what? I'm sorry for wasting your time. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go back to Canada. Sorry. I decided I don't think I want to work in America. Sorry for wasting your time. And then as I get up to leave, he's like, that was a test and you failed. Good. You're not racist enough to live here anyways. Oh! That was a burn on America. You knew it was going to end in a burn on America. Sorry, my American friends, I love you. You know I do. I love to roast America. Sorry, America. It's not even... I was going to say it's hypocritical of me to roast America, and yet, of course, I can just hear the people being like, and yet you want to move here, bitch? And two things can be true. The entertainment industry, the comedy industry in Canada can be oppressive, and I can have bumped my head up against the glass ceiling that is comedy in Canada. That can be true. And also it can be true that America got a little bit of a racist problem. A little bit. Canada does too, but you don't really see it as much unless you go to fucking Red Deer. And at that point, it's like, why are you going to Red Deer? You know? Something that has gone horribly wrong for you to go to Red Deer. And even then, it's been a while since I've been to Red Deer. I don't mean to throw Red Deer under the bus. If any of my listeners are from Red Deer, then I apologize. I'm really sorry. Can you tell I've been working on my voice? I kind of felt like I hit a plateau for a while. And I cannot but feel like I'm doing a lot better lately. I'm working on it. There's still the buzz. I can hear it. I can feel it. I'm working on it. And I think I'm making progress. Feels like I am. Feels like I've leveled up. Whereas I thought I plateaued. Anyways, I'm going to twirl this umbrella now for cool effect. And we're going to say goodbye. Thank you for checking in on me. Thank you for PodGis. Sorry if it was 2 weeks. Hey, sometimes a girl's got to take a break. Sometimes a girl don't feel so hot about herself. Sometimes a girl questions the future of a podcast that isn't making her any money and hasn't seen any meaningful growth, probably because she does it all by herself. And maybe if she had a team of post-production, oh, this is actually kind of airing me a little bit. That's nice. and maybe she had a team in post-production, maybe things get better. Or maybe it's just a matter of there's a limit to how many people are willing to watch one person do verbal diarrhea nonstop without taking a breath for over an hour. And that totally makes sense to me. And if that's the case, then maybe I'll find a partner. Maybe I'll find somebody who is compatible with me. I've had some ideas and some people who I would love to do a podcast with, but they can't. They actually have their shit together way less than me, and that has become a problem. It's always the talented ones that just don't have their shit together. So what does that say about me? I don't know. You decide. Anyways, thanks for tuning in. This was PodGis. We will see you next week, likely, or maybe on a Patreon. Who knows what I will decide. But yeah, that's all. Thanks. Happy Pride. Happy Pride. Go out and whip your micro dick out. And who cares about the discussion about kink at Pride? I see, not to be a both sidesist, but I have conflicting views about kink at Pride because I can't deny the way some of it makes me feel a little uncomfortable, but also the original Pride was, some people say things that convince me that kink should be allowed at Pride because it's part of the DNA of Pride, I guess. Because the cops didn't want, they thought gay was a kink and, but then by extension, oh shit, no, you know what, let's tackle this next week. I'll take a note and I'll do some thinking about it. I will actually come a little prepared on the issue. Will I? I don't know. Tune in next week to find out. Maybe I won't. That would require me getting my shit together. Anyways, this is the longest goodbye of all time, but you knew this was coming. You saw how much time was left. Anyways, okay. Happy Pride. Happy Pride, and love yourself. Okay? Bye. Bye. Ow.